Hey, how's it going? It is, well, it doesn't really matter what the day is, right? You could see this in a month and it won't make any difference a day. Okay, so it's time to do, okay. It is time to do another module. I'm working on module 4 out of 5 for the second course of the AZ204 developer, Azure developer AZ204 certification. Um, and this one is creating an event hub. And that's the first step. There's actually a couple of exercises. It looks like three exercises in this one. Let's see if I can get them done. I'm hoping get them done pretty early-ish, 2 o'clock. And so a couple of hours. Let's see how long it takes. It all comes down to what I can actually do. I run into a lot of problems with this course because this course is a couple of years old, and Azure keeps changing their layout and how things work. And some days things function, some days they don't. Some days I want to go through code and I can't. And it's like, yeah, it's okay. So we'll just try to see what happens. Let's go. I'm going to open up the exercise in the window. I already watched the videos that are related to this. You can always take the Coursera class if you want to see the videos, but really all the exercises just come from Microsoft Learn. So you could theoretically just go to Microsoft Learn, go to training, browse whatever you're trying to learn, and there is you can see this is unit 3 of 8. You can just go through pretty much the entire thing. In fact, this Coursera class is put on, I believe it's even by Microsoft. It's a Coursera class by Microsoft, but using one of the person who's doing the videos. They do PowerPoints. You can get some notes that way, some easy things that it calls out the key details, things that you might want to take notes on for the certification. Now you can do just this stuff and try to get the certification too, but that's only really good if you are a person who excels at simply reading for a certification test. Somebody handed you a bunch of school books. You don't want to go to see any teachers. They say, here, plop some books on your table, read these, get your certification. If you're that person who doesn't mind that, hey man, more power to you. And that's just not me. I'm a visual guy. I like to be able to see things. I don't mind the PowerPoints, but ultimately for me, it's just getting my hands in there. And then when they call out the notes for me, I can put the notes down and actually make some progress there. So I'm using the Cloud Shell Sandbox again. It doesn't, it works most of the time. Sometimes not so much. So we'll see how today goes. How friendly will it be for me today? I don't know. Let's see. I have sandbox time remaining, 3 hours and 59 minutes. I have 2 sandboxes of 10 remaining for the day, so I shouldn't be a problem, right? You know, if I finish this. I mean, theoretically, I only need the 1, but let's see how this goes. Okay, so it's setting up a Cloud Shell for me. Now, this is slightly different. The Azure you see from this sandbox is slightly different. It's almost like it's an older version of it. So things tend to be set up to work more correctly than if you're using your own personal sandbox or your own personal Azure account, which I have and I've used for most of this stuff. I just recently started trying to get this thing to work, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so first things first, the first exercise, create an event hub's namespace. Let's create an event hub namespace. First, let's assign default values that can be reused so that you don't have to do this later. So we'll just copy this and we will drop it in here and paste it. So we're going to create a configure defaults group equals, and then let's see, with every command in particular, let's set the resource and location. Enter the following command in Cloud Shell. Feel free to replace the location value with the region close to you. So we're going to do West US 2. Oh, West US 2 is already there. Okay. And then I guess that's it. I don't have to type anything else. You can use the copy button to copy plans. I was just looking to see if I need to put anything here. Sandbox resource group. All right, well, I'll just do that. Usage error default string equals string, string equals string. Okay, so that doesn't work. I don't know what the sandbox resource group is. That's okay, so maybe I have to put something in there. AZ configure usage error false string equals string, string equals string. So yeah, must not like sandbox resource group. Oh, what do you know? I'm already off. So group equals, do I need to create, I don't know what the sandbox resource group is. It's already hitting a wall. What is the sandbox resource group? Let's see, web preview, settings, help, restart, switch to PowerShell, manage files. I don't know what the sandbox resource group is. Cloud Shell overview, Azure Line, how to copy paste, settings. I have a squeaky chair, don't I? Okay, I'm distracted by myself. What is a sandbox resource group? Do I just put something in here? Let's see. Maybe there's something I don't know here. On Microsoft Learn, what is the sandbox resource group? Azure Architecture Center Collection and how to have resource groups available on Learn Sandbox. Well, based on my learner, please activate Sandbox if you have resources. And after this, check if you can see concierge. See, it says, then please make sure that you selected Sandbox tenant. Can I do that? What if I just go to Azure? Is there like a sandbox thing that I can go look at? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I just, I need to go to my Azure here. For now, I do want to have my Azure on my home page. How can I go here? Microsoft Learn Sandbox. Okay, let's try that one. Because it must have just put that in, because I don't remember doing it. Or not. No access. You do not have authorization to access this resource. What? Oh. What? I don't even know what I'm looking at now. It's like I said I can't do this, and now it's showing it all to me. I don't know. Maybe I have this thing. Maybe. I don't know what I'm looking at. Maybe it's working. It might be working. I don't know. I'm a little confused as to why it told me I don't have access and then showed me something. I'm like, what does that mean? I'm only seeing something that's not related? Because this is South Central US. That's not even the same thing I'm working on. So whatever it thinks I'm doing, it might not be the same place. Because, all right, let's go back and see my code. So I'm here. I did not use South Central US. So if this was my Microsoft Learn Sandbox, I don't know what I'm looking at. Resource group. This is all resources. See, this is everything. So it's probably not working like I think it is. Resource groups. Concierge subscription, West US. This could be the one it's supposed to be. That's sausage. I don't know why that went there. I don't even know what that is. I want to know when I created this, because if it wasn't like today, it's probably not the same one, right? How do I see the date on this? I don't even know how I still have this if it wasn't created today. Nine minutes ago. Oh, maybe this is the recent one. List storage account keys. Update storage account, create list storage account keys, create role assignment, update resource group. These are all things I did 9 minutes ago. So it must have, yeah, this must be current. All right. I mean, I haven't done anything else in the last 9 minutes, so that's got to be it, right? All right, so if this is my resource group, I'll copy that. We'll see if going to here, if since it didn't like the fact that I used that, because I just make one more time, make sure, yep, it definitely doesn't like that. So we'll go here. See what that does. Well, it didn't complain about it. So we'll have to see. Hopefully I created I'm creating a namespace. All right. Create the Event Hub's namespace by running the following Azure command line command, which takes these parameters. Before running the command, though, let's set the namespace as an environment variable so we can use it. Now, when you run the command, the namespace is already defined for you. And okay, so let's we'll copy this, and then we will go paste and click that. So I have NS name now defined, and then I'm going to go here and we'll go paste name, NS name. And then the parameter can be omitted because its default location is the one I already did. And the default value for the parameter if omitted is standard, which is the value that we want. Skew optional. All right, so I guess that's it. Operation returned an invalid status bad request. What? What? That wasn't expected. Try it again. You turned in an invalid bad request. All right, well, that didn't work. So I tried to do, didn't say I had to be in like any particular location, right? Like no folder. I wonder if I need to be in, the problem is these Microsoft Learn bits, they kind of presume sometimes that you're still connected to your last sandbox, so things that you did before might exist. But easy configure defaults group equals. Well, I changed the group and my resource group. All right, well, this is the resource group. Copy. Which is interesting because that's not what I put in on the other spot. So let's go back and try again. It shouldn't have anything past the F or before the L for my resource group name. So let's try this. Okay, well that time it at least took it again. Let's try this one more time. Oh, okay. That's what the problem is. It didn't paste my title correctly. That's weird. I must have had like an extra space in there when I copied it. Who knows? All right. So once we've done that, we can then fetch the accounts, fetch the connection string and primary key for a namespace by running the following command. So this will actually get me back all the stuff for it. The output from the command is in JSON format. It contains details that you will need later. So let's, I'll have to make sure I save that. We'll go paste. And let's see. It's going to have stuff I need, which I will then copy. And we'll put this in my note. For reference in a bit. And yeah, create an event hub. Now we're going to go copy this guy. Paste. First, let's define an event hub name. This is just going to give me a random name, I guess. Apparently, we're creating variables that it will just generate. Just create some random hub name dash random. Now we run the client. It's going to basically be this guy. Paste. We have NS name, which is required. We do have, and we have the hub, the name, and the namespace name, but both are defined by our variables, so we don't really need anything else. So we can hit enter. And then we could view the details of the event hub by running the following command. And we have our hub name, same information, which needs the following parameters. We have a resource group. The resource group is already defined in the environment variable, which we did above. Interestingly enough, it says it requires a resource group, but you can see it's not actually here. And then we have the namespace, which is also in a variable, so you think that would be defined also. I don't know why one can be, but not the others. But either way, it's all there. It's defined. All part of the previous parts. So this just gives you the information you wanted. It's essentially what I just put here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. what the resource group name is. You know, I'm going to copy some of this just in case I need to reference it. I don't know if I will, but just in case, I have my little note here. No point in risking not having that. And then I will keep going. View the Event Hub in the Azure portal. Sign into the Azure portal, which I have right here. I'll push this over here to the side, and we will bring this guy up. Okay. The same account used to activate the sandbox, and the search bar at the top part over here. Oh my god. Hey, wrong with me. It's the morning, man. Event Hubs. We're going to go to Event Hubs. Let's see if that did anything. Woohoo! I got eHub in this 4023. That is one I must have created. In the list of Event Hub, does it actually say it on my little note that I created? I'm trying to see if my little note that I copied here. You would think something here would say that, right? So I would know what I'm looking for. All right, let's see. That's the information I needed. This created at location name, hub name 23330. But I don't see that as the name. I see an eHub NS 4023. That doesn't match. Hub name 23300. These are what I expect to see. So I would expect it be called that. What if I go to see it's just showing me with eHub NS 4023, which wasn't there a second ago. So it has to be the one it created, but that is not the name that is showing on here. The name on here is showing hub name 23300. So I'm not sure why those differ, but I wasn't there a second ago. Oh, there it is, hub name 23300. Okay, so eHub NS must be the namespace, and then this is the eHub. I got it. So the namespace must be higher up on one of my previous creations. Let's go up here. Yeah, the eHub NS 4023. Okay, so yeah, we're good. I just looked at the wrong thing. So that's the namespace, and then this is the hub that I created within the namespace. Okay, in the middle menu pane, your event hub is listed. Yep. Summary. Now we're going to go configure it. Next steps. Configure application to send or receive messages through an event hub. So we're going to do that next. This is the video. this is really the video. If I go back to my course right here, and I say mark is completed, go to next item. My practice quiz is did you do it? And then I'm going to click here and say, yes, I did it. And then I put my name in again, because it seems like we'll go to the next one. And then go to the next thing. And then it's reading. Oh, I just go straight to a reading. So, interestingly enough, do these look familiar to you? Send and receive messages through an event hub. They just copied and pasted Microsoft Learn right into your code for you. You can go here, Azure Client Commands. It's going to show you the list, the same table and everything. Is it a little bit better formatted? I guess, maybe. I don't know, more bolded here. I mean, going to read it. Shell command clone an application GitHub repository, edit files in Cloud Shell, and then summary again. I can continue here because I don't need this one. It's going to take me back to my original thing. Application can create connection strings. Let's just see. I want to How do you see the configuration? For example, payment processor, and although there are application receive messages, what are the minimum Event Hub application requirements? To configure an application to send messages in the Event Hub, provide the following information: the namespace, Event Hub name, the shared access policy name, and the primary shared access key. These are kind of what your multiple choices will be. Name all the things you need in order to do an Event Hub. To configure an application to receive messages from an event, provide the following information so that the application can create connection credentials. All right, I'm actually going to keep this because this is very clearly going to be part of the. I mean, this is stuff very obviously would be part of a test. So. If you have a receiver application that stores applications, Azure client commands to create a general purpose standard storage account. The Azure client provides a set of commands you can use to create and manage storage account. We'll work with them in the next unit, but here's a basic synopsis of the commands. Oh, these are I think I already wrote down these, but I'm going to keep these anyway. Because I have in my notes already put down some Event Hub stuff. So we have, let's see, account create, which we did, and then commands you can use to create and manage storage account. We'll work with them in the next unit, but here's a basic synopsis. Oh, these are storage account commands, not Event Hub commands. I'm just trying to organize my notes a little bit here. Got to have my notes down so that when I'm trying to remember where everything is, and when I'm trying to figure out. There's not a lot. It's funny how storage accounts come up quite a bit while you're doing this, but they don't have a ton of conversations. I don't think I remember anyway. Where they actually bring up storage. I mean, it's not like you use storage accounts a lot, and instead of actually having conversations specific to storage accounts, they just kind of come up as needed. What is it you're trying to accomplish when you're trying to accomplish it, kind of thing. So it's kind of an interesting approach, I suppose. Okay. All right, so let's continue on. Edit files in Cloud Shell. Use built-in Cloud Shell and okay, so we'll mark that as completed. We'll go to next item. Time for the exercise. All right, so I'm pretty sure this is going to be exercise. Configure application to send and receive messages through Event Hub. Yep, same thing. And it's going to be this. I mean, I'll open this up just to show you. Open a new window. There it is. Same exact thing. So I'm going to close that because I don't need it twice. And then I'm going to expand this guy all the way out because that's what I'm using right now. And then we'll say, all right. In Azure Cloud Shell, set the storage account name to a variable. I'm going to do this again. creating a new storage account because apparently you need those for absolutely everything. That's why they charge you for them no matter what you do. There's no free version of storage account. It's not very expensive to have one. It'll cost you pennies, but once you start using it, it gets to be a lot more expensive. It's interesting you have storage name random. I don't know. Storage name is probably not great, but run the following command to create the storage account. Copy, paste. So there's now a new storage account called storage name number. So that's what that's going to be. And then what you have is that variable on your creation of the storage account. And then you have the SKU, standard raggers, and then encryption service. I guess we're doing a blob. All right. It may take a moment to create. It did, but it's done. Run the following command to obtain the access keys associated with your command. We'll do this. I'll copy this. This output may be troublesome if you've got people who want to mess with it. But remember, this is in my sandbox, so pretty much when I close this, it's going to go away. So it's not like it's high. I wouldn't do this, I guess, if it was if, you know, this is something I was going to keep long term, because I wouldn't want to put the keys out here for everybody to see, you know. Run the following command. All right. 2 keys associated with storage account are output as JSON format. Copy and save the value key 1 for future use. I have key 1. They also gave me a key 2, but I don't. They're going to use key 1. The output contains the run the following command to obtain the connection string. So I'll need this one as well. Paste, get my connection string, and that will be this guy. And then the output contains the connection string. Copy and save the value of connection string. It should look something like this guy. It does. Says default endpoint, blah, blah, blah. Run the following command to create a container called messages in your storage account. Use the connection string value you just copied. So we'll copy here. I'm going to put it over here. We'll say paste it. And then I'm going to take my connection string. Copy it, stick it in here. All right. Right, because that's it. Let's just drop it in. Copy, paste, enter. Created. True. All right, we're on to the next thing. Clone the Event Hub's GitHub repository. We're going to go run the following commands to make sure that you are in your home directory in Cloud Shell, and then to clone this repository. All right. Okay. Edit simplesend.java. In this exercise, you use the built-in Cloud Shell editor to modify the SimpleSend application. You need to add your Event Hub's namespace event hub name, shared access policy name, and primary key. So we're going to go bash. What are we going to do? Copy. Change to the simple send folder. Man, there's some depth there. Look at this. That's a long ways in. Azure, samples, Java, basic, simple send, source, main, java.com, Microsoft, Azure, event hub, sample, simple send. that is a serious path. We're getting pretty deep, man. All right, open Cloud Shell editor in the current folder. We have to change to classic Cloud Shell for some reason. If not already open Java. Thing is, you have to do this twice, which is weird because once you open classic, the previous line didn't work. You have to basically go back because it's weird. And then we're going to go code. And now we're in the simple send Java thing, as we are now in the correct place. Because you have to go to classic mode before those other commands actually work, but it doesn't know that you're trying to go to the classic mode until you try to use those commands. So there might be a way to toggle back and forth directly and just say, put me in classic mode. I don't know. I haven't checked. I think there might be one in the menu above. Maybe I did look at it. I don't know. All right. So we're going to open the simple send Java, which is this guy. It's hard to grab this bar. Want to get this over so I can see more of it. It's funny you can't split this. There's no toggling the space between these. Huh. Okay, so you can see this is actually quite a bit of Java in this thing. I mean, a fair amount. It's not huge, but it's got a lot of comments, I suppose. All right, so in the editor, locate and replace the following strings. So your event hub's namespace name. So the name, the event hub's namespace name is hub name 2330. And then my, oh wait, nope, that's not right. That's the hub's name. Yeah, that's the hub's name, and my event hub I don't even have. This is ehub. All right, so okay. Oh, that's okay. So the hub name is not the namespace. This is the namespace. Ehub NS copy. So I'm getting them. Okay, so the one with NS is the namespace. So this has to go right here. Now we have to do a SAS key name. So this is root manager, your policy name. Your policy name with root manage shared access key. Your primary SAS key with the value of the primary key for your event hub namespace that you saved earlier. Okay, so this is the key I need. Shared, is it shared access something? Now to remember what the heck they want me to put in here. It says with root manager shared access key, your policy name. Oh, root manager shared access key. Root manager shared access key. Oh, okay. The primary key, policy name, primary key, secondary connection string, and secondary key. I'm doing something wrong here because the root, this says root manager shared access key. And the connection string that goes with it is this one. Oh, it's not asking for connection string. But this is the primary key. What the heck has happened? Alright. Primary key, we have, I guess that's this thing. I still don't know what the primary key name is though. Because this doesn't have a name. It just says primary connection key name, policy name with root manager shared access key. Root manager shared access key. Okay. Let's just put this in here. I mean, it says key name here is root manager shared access key, so I'm going to put that on. If you forget these values, you can switch the terminal window below the editor and run the echo command. Let's copy this. Let's see if I got the right values. I wonder if this will work because it made me switch to classic mode. Yeah, that's what I thought. Since I'm in classic mode now, I'm no longer, I no longer have all those values that I created. Or at least they're not in memory, which kind of sucks. Now, it is possible to find those names, because I already got that one and that one. The storage name is what I'm a little concerned about. I could probably find that one here too. I can go here and go, see if this shows my storage. Enable, resource group, status, location. I wonder if I click on this guy. Resource, status, namespace, create, cleanup, partitions. Yeah, I don't know where the storage is. I could probably go home and go see all, maybe? Or not. Name. Oh, this is recent still. How come it does that? Storage accounts. Let's see. I should have created one. Here. Oh, here it is. Storage name 10402. That's the storage account. I don't know where I'm supposed to find storage account, because or where I'm supposed to put it. It doesn't actually ask for that information here. All right. So we're here. Let's hit Control S. Save that. Let's see. For your primary access key, when you create an event hub namespace, key called is created and included primary, secondary keys that grant, stand, listen, and commands. You can also use commands. Event hubs namespace in Azure. Now select the policy name, root manager shared access key to display the SaaS policy keys. Send the simple, save the simple save send.java file, then close the editor. I'm not going to close the editor. I'm just going to use it. I just want to be able, there's no reason it has to be closed to do this stuff. Copy it. And we'll see what happens when I go paste. Something, maybe. All right, so now we got to do what? Build the Java simple send out. The command builds your application using the connection details for your hub. Skip tests. Okay. Guess it's not going to do this. Clean package. It's interesting that clean package is the way you build the package. That's weird. Wow. Downloading all kinds of stuff. Ensure that you see the build success message before continuing, but it is showing a lot of stuff. And build success. Psh, there we go. All right, this is a longer one. There's a lot more. Some of them are short and pretty straight to the point, but this one's got a little bit more stuff going on. Okay, so then we change the event process sample folder by running the following command. Right. Just wow, look how many levels that is. Wow, there's so many. That is a huge. Now we're gonna go back to see, now it says open this back up, and here I am. I'm already here, so why do I matter? Unless, oh, that's probably in a different location. Code dot. Okay, now we're here. Okay. Locate and replace the following strings in the editor. Okay, now we're gonna do some more. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of information are going to be replaced. Although it only asks for 4. That's weird. Oh, here it is. Oh, because I hadn't selected the right one. Okay. Event Hub namespace. Well, that's easy because that's the one with the NS. Which was what? I didn't record it. It's ehub something something something. Let's go back. Holy moly. Alright, I did save that one, luckily. It's ehub NS 4023. ehub NS-2043. Is that right? It's probably case sensitive, isn't it? Oh, it's all lowercase. And then it's hub name 23300. Name dash 23300. Alrighty. And then we got shared access signature key name. Root manager. It's the same thing as before. And then we have to put the key in, which is the primary key that I put in before as well. And then we got to put in Azure storage connection string. Which I think is this one. Azure storage connection string with your storage account connection string that you saved earlier. Oh, here we go. AZ storage account create. Okay, so I did the create there, and then we have, there's my storage account connection string. Trying to all my little notes, and I didn't give them good enough labeling. Kind of threw me off. All right, so we got the storage account connection string. Storage container name with messages. Did I actually create a container name? All right, let's go back and see what they're talking about. All right, so we'll go here, and we'll go storage accounts. Go to storage name 10402. Tables, blobs, container. Where's container? Containers. Messages. Oh, it's just messages. Why does it say with messages? Locate and replace the following strings in the editor, blah, with messages. Oh, I just got to read it all out of the continued sentence. That's weird. Okay. It was just called messages, though. Messages. And then we'll go on to the next item for bids here. Hostname prefix, the name of your storage account. Okay. And that one was just storage name something or other. Storage name 10402. Storage name 10402. So while creating this stuff, a good point of fact, when it kicks back information for you, it's always good to say either show and get it or echo it, and if you set variables for it, or just make sure you copy the stuff it kicks back to you, because it says a lot of the stuff. So when you go on to the next step, creating your eHub, doing the sends, the receives, you got to copy all that information that's fed back to you so that you're able to actually process the next step, because a lot of times you're obviously going to need it when you're going on doing each individual step. If even your live production one, you're going to want all that. Make sure you keep lots of notes of what's being created, and it'll make it easier to fill in this stuff. All right, save event processor sample, done. Linux, close the editor. Don't have to, because they may have me open it again, and I'd rather just have it open. So we'll say copy, we'll say paste, we'll hit enter. We will see what it does. Does it do anything? Well, it didn't complain. Now we got to build it. That's weird. Okay, so we're gonna change. Oh, we're just changed to the folder. Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't really do anything. That's why. This one's gonna do stuff. I'll be right back. I gotta let my dog out. Come on. All right, I'm back. Back for the finishing round of this thing. All right, so it finished, ran all this stuff. Man, that's a long one. All right, so on to the next step. All right, so see, what are you doing? Shaking up my yogurt, man. Gotta get my protein in. This is a handcrafted in Seattle Greek yogurt. Home base, man. I'm at Alanos Yogurt home base. Well, I mean, I live close to Seattle. It's kind of in that area. Oh, I did. I was thinking I forgot a spoon. All right. So we're done with that. Now we're going to start the send and receive portion of this fun. So we will copy this command, which is, man, you know, a lot of this is just knowing what commands and stuff to send. And see, this is why it always throws me off. It's like, you would have to do this how many times before you start memorizing things like, you know, what is all these commands? Jar with dependency jar. Well, that's the output. But I mean, even, okay, so we're just changing to the folder, but then we're going to run java-jar. So, I mean, this is stuff that we're going to change to this command, then we're going to run a Java command, which is opening up a Java file, which failed to load class static logger binder. Oh, well, that seems to be normal. Defaulting to no operation log. Start the event processing sample application by doing the following command, which is another, oh, it's not done. I'll press enter to stop. Oops. And then we enter this command. Oops, unable to access jar file. That's not normal. All right, so we're going to go. Okay, that's working. I just must have had a bad copy or something. doing lots of stuff. So this is starting the event processor sample by running the following command. So it's event processor sample. I imagine it's doing something. Yep, there it goes. When messages stop appearing on the console, press Enter or press Control-C to end the program. Does it keep doing it? Is that what happened? Because it paused back here. And then it shot up and did it again after I was waiting for a while. Okay. Did that end it? It says press Enter or press Control-C. Well, I hit Enter, didn't do anything. Well, at least gets me back to this. All right, well, is that it? Okay, it looks like it worked. It did it. I mean, it's like it was sending messages, doing stuff. Batch size. How big are these batches? 20, 25. It did some stuff. So, I mean, it was doing something. Sending messages, I guess. They're all sample messages. Kind of anticlimactic, but whatever. Okay. Kind of weird to do code where it basically just does everything and you don't know, you're not putting anything in to see your own. I could probably have played with that code a little, made it do something that was more visual to me as unique, something that caused my mind to call it out as something I did. And now you can see this kind of goes on to doing some other things. So let's go ahead and return to my exercise. I can say that was done. So I was able to create applications to send and receive messages through the Event Hub. So apparently I was doing that. It was kind of weird though. It wasn't, I don't know. I mean, I guess I didn't feel real sure of, you know, the whole process of what it was doing. I mean, I know that the messages were showing stuff, but I don't know. I guess probably would have better read through the code a little bit. So just doing it. That's one of the problems with just doing a class or learning. They're giving you examples that it's harder to wrap. It can be harder to wrap your mind around because you're not visualizing the endpoints. You know, they kind of give you stuff, but you're like when I'm programming or coding, I know what I want to happen, what I want to. I know where I'm at and what I need to happen. Okay, so this code is meant to say, okay, take this information, do these things, and get me to my point. So as I'm coding it, my brain is, you know, drawing that connectors to the end result. And so then when you run it, and once you see your end result, you've got, you know, your finished product. When you do a class, you're really not locked in. You haven't come up with what that design is. Yes, they give you some comments in the video. If you're doing like a, you know, you're working with an auto parts industry or a credit card company, and they kind of give you some examples, and you're like, okay, I'm sort of visualizing this. But again, the messages aren't actual messages. They aren't truly being sent by whatever source they're talking about. You're creating dummy stuff, and it's just a little harder to visualize and proceed. This is why you want to try, if you can, come up with an actual scenario that you can work with and visualize the endpoints. And then when you're building the stuff in the middle, it'll make a lot more sense and probably stick better in your mind. At least it does for me. Again, you know, everybody learns different.
When using event hubs, you must monitor your hub to ensure that it's working as expected. Continuing with the banking example, suppose you've deployed Azure Event Hubs and configured sender and receiver applications. Your applications are ready for testing the payment processing solution. The sender application collects customers' credit card data, and the receiver application verifies the credit card is valid. Because of the sensitive nature of your employer's business, it's essential your payment processing is robust and reliable, even when it's temporarily unavailable. Evaluate your event hub by testing that your event hub is processing data as expected. The metrics available in the event hubs allows you to ensure that it's working fine. The Azure portal overview page for your event hub shows message counts. These message counts represent the data or events received and sent by the event hub. You can choose the timescale for viewing these events. Azure Event Hubs keeps received messages from your sender application, even when the hub is unavailable. Messages received after the hub becomes unavailable are successfully transmitted to our application as soon as the hub becomes available. To test this functionality, you can use the Azure portal to disable your event hub. When you re-enable your event hub, you can rerun your receiver application and use Event Hub's metrics for your namespace to check whether all sender messages are successfully transmitted and received. Other useful metrics available in the Event Hubs include throttled requests, the number of throttled requests because the throughput exceeded unit usage. Active connections, the number of active connections on a namespace or event hub. Incoming, outgoing bytes, the number of bytes sent to or received.
I can see how some of the stuff might be useful. I'm a statistics slash metrics kind of guy. I like that kind of stuff. I can really dig into some of that, and sometimes it's like beyond necessity, but it's fun to work with those kind of numbers and build logic off of them. How to make them useful. It's like when I designed a report controller I had built in a bunch of visuals, metrics, things like this, told you how the reports were performing, which ones were running long, which ones were doing, had problems more often. So I was calling out all of the kind of troublesome reports. And then I started building in code that said, well, when you have, when you have reports that meet this or meet that, perhaps, point it out to somebody specific, send a special message out when they meet certain criteria, because I created these things that showed it. And I'm like, you know what, we need to make more than just show them. We needed to, let somebody know that we've got X issues going on, and maybe even notify those people, who might be higher up, who need to get this dealt with, or maybe even the owners of the report, and say, hey, this report is causing problems. We're going to have to take it down in order to fix it. Please let us know when would be a good time to fix this report. Anyway, so yeah, it's just about being able to come up with ways to manipulate that data, not only to be able to see it and see what's going on, but also do something with it if you know. It's cool that they have this, but I wonder if, can you call these metrics out programmatically? I'd imagine you could, but you'd want to so that you can respond to it in some way. Now, they might have some ways that when these flags happen, it sends out some other notification or other thing that you can capture. Like an event hub sends out an event, right? So maybe you can get it to do that.
Received from the Event Hub service over a specified period.
When the hub is unavailable, Event Hubs discard received messages from the sender application. That would be lame. Why would you? Hello, I said continue.
Okay, that concludes this lesson. In this part, you have learned how the Azure portal provides message counts and other metrics that you can use as a health check for your event service over a specified period.
Did I do that right? I said false. Interestingly enough, this did not say, there's more to it. Oh, I see. When I said false and hit go, I didn't see the correct. Usually it says, and it just stayed the same except went blank. I'm like, what's going on here? But it actually did work fine. Never mind.
Okay, that provides message counts
and
other metrics that you can use as a health check for your event hubs.
There is only one more piece of this process, and that is evaluate the performance. Okay, so that's kind of what we were about to do, as you saw when I was in this window. It was actually already showing me this. I can see this stuff in my local one right here because I have it. Sign into the Azure portal already done. On the overview page, view the message count. So if I go home here, oh, I gotta go to my Event Hub instance. I'll go, this is the Event Hub itself. We click on overview and you can see, voila, we got my little blip of stuff. An overview page with view counts, a simple send and event process samples applications are configured to send, receive 100 messages. And you can see I actually got, a couple, I got 100 here. Notice that the Event Hubs processed 100 messages from simple send application and transmitted 100 messages to the event processor sample. So at different points I had a little bit more than that here, but you can see the hundreds are here. Test Event Hubs resilience. Oh, here we go. Perform the following steps to find out what happens when an application sends messages. Okay, so I gotta open this back up. Yay. Now here's the thing, I hope everything still works. I mean, Sandbox should stay open, right? This is a Marionberry yogurt, and I'm spitting out the little seeds, Marionberry seeds. So it's like, you hear me go, I'm blowing out Marionberry seeds. So yeah, I like a couple, but I don't know. Guess I could just swallow them, right? Little gross Marionberries in my stomach. That's a thing, right? All right. Copy this. Get onto the right folder path. Run the following command in Cloud Shell. So press enter to stop. When you get the send complete message, press enter. Send complete. Okay. Return to the Azure portal on the overview page of your event instance. This shows details specific to the event hubs. Oh, I forgot there's a refresh button up here I can click. Probably would have been faster. In the left pane, under Settings, select Configuration. Under Event Hub Status, select Disabled. And in the top menu bar, select Save Changes. Under the Event Hub Status, select Disabled and Save Changes. And then we're going to go select Active under Event Hub Status to re-enable. Oh, wait for a minimum of 5 minutes. Oh, never mind. So, 5 minutes. That's 1:08 right now. So we gotta hang out, man. Chit chat for 5 minutes. If I change this or cut this up into a single unit item, I can cut this little part out or speed it up. It'll be like super fast. And then 5 minutes will be over. I'll cut it down to 30 seconds, 20 seconds. I don't know what to say, man. Normally I'd just play a game, but you know, this really isn't a game stream, right? What can you do for 5 minutes while talking to somebody about programming? Okay, so yeah, I've talked about before how I plan to reverse engineer my Active Minds Games website. And if you're curious what Active Minds Games is, that's actually my personal kind of, I'll say, a hobby business because I don't really make any real money off of it. It pays for itself mostly. But I make like storage cases, and I've designed a few number of games that at some point I want to also sell through through that business. Um, Once I get them produced. But the cases are kind of the one thing that I have right now. And if you were interested in checking those out, they're miniatures cases for like gaming miniatures, you know, D&D, Warhammer, HeroClix, that kind of thing. But also you can collect just about anything miniature, and they're expandable display cases that can be expandable in that you can just keep connecting them to each other and create storage cases of your own size and configuration. Plus they have mounting holes in the back. You can put them on the wall. Anyway, if you're curious, you want to know more about them, go check them out on YouTube and on Instagram under Active Minds Games. It's Minds with an S. You can see the videos and pictures of what they are. If you want to be in on the Kickstarter when we finally get around to launching that, which is based solely on how many followers we get on our Active Minds Games Facebook page. Go there, say, hey, we want to be in on this. Follow us, and once we get to 800 followers, we're going to announce the launch date, which will probably be within a month or two from that, and then we'll launch the Kickstarter and see if we can get these cases made, get bigger ones, more of them, some cool inserts for them, that kind of thing. But I want to reverse engineer the website for Active Minds Games. Now, this is not where you would buy the cases we have now. The way you would buy our cases now on amgamesdirect.com. And that's because that's kind of where we're holding that stuff, because we got smaller amount of supplies. We're out of some of the cases now. Like we have mage cages available, but we're mostly out of X cases, which are the ones without the little ribs on the inside, which are meant to help, which hold units. We have those cases too, and those are the ones we currently have available. But the X cases that are just empty on the inside, we don't have any more in stock. Well, I think we have like 5, something like that. It's a pretty small amount. But anyway, so this is AMG Direct, or sorry, AM Games Direct. So this is what the cases are and what they look like. And this is Shopify. Okay, this is Shopify and all the stuff that Shopify can do. It's very basic. We only have some of our basic things up. We don't have, I don't even have the metal plates up here. I probably should put them on here. They're the opposites of these magnets. For people who already have magnets on their minis, they're just plates that your magnetized minis will fit. And I should probably put them up there. But the site that I want, this is actually just Shopify. So you build it around this. And I guess in theory I could keep this, maybe even redirect my AM Games, Active Minds Games domain. So this is ActiveMindsGames.com. And once it loads. So, and the only reason I don't use this page, which I did use for a long time to sell our products, is because it was more expensive, and not for the site itself, for the credit card processing wasn't. I had some issues with the processor, not the processor, but the middleman, the one that actually does the card transactions. You have your interface, which you connect to a QuickBooks.com or Credit Cards R Us, whatever the heck they are, and then they're your interface, and then you go through them, but you have to pay them something, whatever it is, and then they send your transaction to a processor who does all the credit card stuff, and then they take whatever their piece of the pie is. And those are the guys that were really problematic for us. They were charging a boat ton of money for things that it's like we weren't even doing, and I was like, this is dumb. I don't want to use those people anymore. And ultimately, I've just started. I thought, well, I could have just changed it so we only go through PayPal, you know, and then we're just using the PayPal processing and PayPal stuff, um, or use something else. But ultimately, I kind of shut that down for now. So this site is here. Don't use it. It won't. You can't purchase here. You can kind of look, but I want to reverse engineer this site. So I am going to redirect my Actimine's games to AM Games Direct. But in the meantime, you can come here and like you would see all the accessories. These are all the things that we sell currently. We do have X cases, but not very many. We have mage cages, and then these are all the different other products that go. These are all just accessories to the X case. Anyway, this is my goal to kind of rebuild this because this site is actually a turnkey thing I bought from somebody else. I have the code, but it's really overly complex. There's a lot of things I don't need to do. And I kind of want to just see if I can rebuild this, do it my own stuff with my own pages and just see what I can accomplish. Will I finish it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Ultimately, I may just end up using Shopify all the time. But it could be my pet project to try to see if I can get this built using my own skills. I've actually considered making it two sites, like having it be ActiveMinds Games, run on React, and then maybe have maybe when you route to certain pages, they go to a Blazor combination page or some Blazor backend, a Blazor front end, C# backend. Just because I want to see if I can work with it. You know, maybe maybe I'll use web APIs and like an alternate service where you reroute to this alternate service. I don't know, just something like that so I can build off two things. I'm actually thinking of going with like a React, Node.js, Supabase, or ultimately I think I have to use the same database. It won't work if I'm not using the same database. So I'll probably be just doing a SQL Server or maybe even taking my database off SQL Server, which is what it's on now, putting it on something a little bit cheaper, like a Supabase or something like that. I don't know. All that stuff's to be determined at some point. But for now, that's the goal. I want to start building on this hopefully soon, like in the next weeks or whatever. So anyway, let's go ahead and finish up our thing here. It's been more than 5 minutes of that. Under Event Hub status, select disabled and the top menu bar, save changes. Okay, select active. Let's go back here. We will hit active, save changes. In the cloud shell, rerun this thing. When messages stop appearing on the console, press enter. It's kind of weird though. It didn't have you do this, I guess. Oh. It didn't have you do this when it was disabled. Wasn't that the whole point, to do this stuff while it was disabled? I guess they stopped appearing. Back in the Azure portal, go back to the Event Hub's namespace. Use a breadcrumb copy. Or you can, in the middle menu pane, select monitoring, select metrics. Wait, what? Go back to your Event Hub's namespace. Oh. Okay. In the middle menu pane, select Monitoring, select Metrics. Don't see monitoring. In the middle menu pane, under Monitoring, select Metrics. Oh. I still don't see it. It says there's no, so I just click this? Nope. I'm trying to see what they're trying to show us here. I don't see what it's looking for. Let's see, let's make this bigger. Oh, it's not the middle menu pane, it's on the left. Is there a thing called metrics here? Under monitoring, select metrics. Oh, it's not the middle menu. That's so weird. Okay. So yeah, okay, we're back here. We have all this nonsense. From the metrics drop-down list, select incoming messages. Incoming messages, and in the taskbar select add metrics. Incoming messages, and in the taskbar add metric. At the top of the chart select last 24 hours. At the top of the chart select last 24 hours. Nope. Where is... Oh, it is last 24 hours. Local time. Last 24 hours. Automatic. Okay. And in the dialog box that appears, change the last 30 minutes. To expand the data graph, select Apply. I did. Notice that the event, though the messages were sent before the Event Hub's instance was taken offline for a period, all 100 messages were successfully transmitted. But it didn't have me do this while it was down. You know, like here, if you go here, it says, set the disable, the top menu, save changes. Don't do anything else for 5 minutes. Then set it to active. We didn't do anything while it was disabled. It didn't like complain. So we go straight from do this bit, disable it, wait 5 minutes, enable it, and then do this again. Of course it's going to work. It was enabled both times. I think they did that wrong. I think if we really wanted to test it, we would have ran this while it was disabled, right? I mean, that would have been the real test. What happens when you run it while it's disabled? From the drop-downs list, select incoming messages and the taskbar select add metric. Notice that even though the messages were sent before the Event Hub instance was taken offline for a period, all 100 messages were successfully transmitted. See, it wasn't done before. It was done after. Unless it was in the middle, when you, because it says when send complete messages, press enter, return to the portal, then we're disabling it. But it was done. I don't know. That's really weird. But I think we did that wrong. I think that the exercise is broken, but I think I get it. I get what it's trying to say, man. Yes, I did it. I did it. Wasn't impressed. Because you did it when it was awful online both times. All right, go to next item. That's it, guys. We've done 4. There's only one more module left. The goal was to get through another module, and we did. Let's do this quick knowledge check. We'll do both of them. They are slightly different. Applications that publish messages to Azure hubs frequently get the best performance using advanced messaging queue protocol because it establishes a persistent socket. Yes, because HTTPS would be the least best performance, but it's the quickest. By default, how many partitions does a new hub have? 1. What is the maximum size of a single publication, individual or batch, allowed by Azure Event Hubs? I think it was 1 megabyte. Oh. Really? I thought it defaulted to 1. I thought she said by the default it was 1. Huh. Okay, well, that's good to know. This can be configured. I guess I didn't take that note. Event hub. Every event hub has at least 2 partitions. So it's not going to be 1, obviously. I just saw a note here. It says every event hub has at least 2. So what was it talking about? It only has a 1. I don't know. All right. By default, a new event hub has 4 partitions. And then it's 1 megabyte. I think I already had this. 1 megabyte. Max per individual or event publication. And oh, I knew AMQP. Okay, so I know that one. All right. Go back to finish. And that's the next thing. All right, so we are done here. Let's go do the knowledge check. True or false? Azure Event Hub's cloud-based event processing service that can receive and process millions of events per second. That sounds about right. You plan on using Azure Event Hubs, and you want to make sure that the messages will remain available for 5 days, even if the data stream needs to be replayed for any reason. Which parameter should you configure? 5 days. Set the partition count. Set the message retention parameter to 5. 5 days? Is it really by default? I don't know if that's by default. I don't remember seeing that message. All my notes here, create namespace, event. Can handle millions of messages per second. Got that, yeah. Can handle volume, can optimize, can scale. I don't know. Guess we'll see. I don't remember. I do remember when you're configuring something here, it says what you can do. Optional parameters enable namespace zone, auto inflate maximum. Certain defined namespace level apply to all event hubs. Hub 1 for capacity. Huh. Well, we'll find out, I guess. 5 days seems like a long time. but maybe that is. You plan on configuring an application to send messages to Event Hub. Which information is needed so that the application can create connection credentials? All right, so we need a shared access key. We need an access key to go along with our work. Event Hub namespace, Event Hub name, and Event Hub namespace name, and a storage account connection string. We need all that stuff. Shared access policy name. I don't think we need all 5. Primary shared access key. You plan on configuring an application to send messages to Event Hub. You know what? I may not need all this to send. There was one where you needed less to send. Okay, to configure an application to send messages to Event Hub, provide the following information. So it is only 4 items. It's namespace, namespace name, shared access policy, and primary shared access key. Okay, so we don't need the storage account. Yes, I'm cheating. No, I mean, it's not really cheating. I'm looking at my notes. And again, it's all about my learning this stuff down to a point that I've got it memorized. So I feel like these are about training your brain to align the pieces of information that are going to be important for the test. Because this isn't really a test. This is just kind of seeing where you are. Obviously, if I didn't know the answer, I'm not there. So I need to get myself there, though. I need to make it so I do know the answers. You plan on using the Azure CLI to retrieve storage account key information from an Azure storage account. Which command should you use? Azure storage account key list. You plan on using an Azure storage account key from list storage account. Show connection string storage account. I think it's this one actually. Let's see, key list, retrieve the storage account key. Show connection string is going to show you storage account, show connection string. Oh, all right. Which connection? Storage account key. Oh, it said to retrieve the storage account key from Azure storage account. So yeah, I got it right. Storage account key list. All right, you are using Azure Event Hubs and you suspect that the throughput exceeds unit usage. To which metric should you pay attention? That's throttled requests. Bam, 100%. Okay, granted, I had to look at a couple notes, but you know, a couple of things that this tells me. One is I didn't know everything perfectly, although I did feel like I knew all but like 2 of them for sure. And second, that my notes are decent because the notes are what I'm going to be using when it comes time to study for this test. So the notes for this item, I have them. If I can commit enough of it to memory when it's time to take the test, I should do okay, right? Assuming that they're providing the information I need. Now, granted, I know I'm going to be taking the practice test like 10,000 times, but it's still something, right? I can at least say I'm getting there. Hopefully, the more I learn here, the less I will have to take the practice test. There's only 5 questions on that, huh? Well, this wasn't test prep. This was a knowledge check. Or maybe that was test prep. I guess we'll know in a minute. Haven't got a full 100% on the first try in a while, even with notes. That means my notes haven't always been great. Okay, so this is lesson summary.
Azure Event Hubs provides big data applications the capability to process large volumes of data. It can also scale out during exceptionally high demand periods as required. Azure Event Hubs decouples the sending and receiving of messages to manage the data processing. This helps eliminate the risk of overwhelming consumer applications and data loss because of any unplanned interruptions. In this lesson, you've seen how to deploy Azure Event Hubs as part of an event processing solution. You learned how to use the Azure CLI commands to create an Event Hub's namespace and an Event Hub in that namespace. Configure sender and receiver applications to send and receive messages through the Event Hub. And use the Azure portal to view your Event Hub status and performance. And finally,
A word on cleanup. Please
steps
close
on
your
how to
stuff.
delete Azure resources.
Every single module they do this. It's like, okay, I get it. Don't leave your stuff there. More cleanup. Using your Microsoft Azure subscription, delete. Steps for deleting resources. All right, mark is completed. That's it, man. That's it. Now we're down to the final item for the course number 2. Let's see how many got. 1 exercise, 2 exercise. That's it. Just 2 exercises. Easy McFeezy, right? They're short ones, really, too, because it's only 10 minutes each. I mean, this could be done in no time. I got the quiz, test prep, got that. But I'm going to take a break. And then after that, maybe I'll come back a little bit later and try to wrap this up. I've only got 2 to do. Maybe I'll do that today. And if not, I mean, it's better that these be in separate streams anyway. So